3 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, Habs Tonight had their last show. Well, 3 years to the date, we are back. By popular demand, we are here with Sick Media. We've got an amazing first show tonight. It's the Habs Tonight pregame show. We got Pierre McGuire, we got Sid Seixeiro, Tony Marinaro. That even rhymed as a bonus. And we got the Habs Tonight crew jumping in tonight. Folks, it's Leafs, it's Canadiens, it's Original Six. The Sick is in the house. The team is here. We are combining forces to bring you an amazing pregame show, the sickest Montreal Canadiens pregame show you're ever going to be a part of. Don't go anywhere. It's about to get even sicker.
It's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Playing on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K, S-I-C-K,
S-I-C-K,
S-I-C-K, S-I-C-K, S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
You're watching Habs Tonight, powered by Sick Media. The sickest Montreal Canadiens pregame show. It's gonna be sick.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Habs Tonight. The boys are rocking the hats. If I had a horn, I'd be pulling it right now. But folks, we are so beyond excited. It's real. It's real. We're back, boys. And it's kind of surreal. I got to say, I'm kind of lost for words, but here we are. We're back.
It's very
We're
nice.
back.
It feels good. It feels right. And the timing is excellent. You know what I mean? Like, sure, maybe we should have done this a while back, but you know what? Right now, the timing, the stars are aligned. It's Habs Leafs, Sick Media, Habs Tonight, the partnership that we all wanted. Oh man, this is going to be good. And before every Habs game, we're going to bring you the pregame show. Man, it's going to be fun. I'm pumped. Let's do this.
It's going to be awesome. It's been a long time, but happy to be back. Happy to partner up with Tony and Sick Media and Sammy and Yellow for giving us the opportunity. So we're looking forward. We got a big show. First show back. The guest lineup is pretty sick. So can't wait to get this thing going.
Man,
It's pretty great. Let's just put it that way, guys. But we got a lot of people to thank, like Brando just said, Anello, Sammy, Juliana, Dale Weiss without him, we're not even here. So like the Habs Tonight show all started back with the Dutch Gretzky himself, Dale Weiss. We tried to sneak him on tonight for the first one. And Dale's an entrepreneur. I don't know if you know, but he's running like 1 million businesses now. So he's got stuff going on, but he's told Brando that he'll be coming on when he can. So we wanted to make sure to bring him back at some point because we know y'all missed him. We did too. And without him, we're not here. So without Sick, without Dale, we're not here. So guys, we have a really good show, as Shane alluded to, as Brandon alluded to, and it's Leafs Habs. There's no shortage of storylines, guys. Like there's so much to get into before we really dive in. And in a few short minutes, Pierre McGuire will be joining us. Mm-hmm. So what do you want to lead off with here, Shane? Like we can talk Leafs, we can talk Habs. Like where do you want to go to start this thing off here?
Well, let's go with the team that we cover. Obviously, we don't want to talk about the Leafs. What are we doing here? No, we'll have to talk about the Leafs, and we'll be able to do that with Sid Seixeiro of all people. How about that? That's pretty neat. But on the Habs, guys, let's start with the projected lineup. We have a picture here to see. No forward changes. Suzuki, Caulfield, Slav still together. Newhook, Kapanen, Demidov, Evans, Bolduc, Doc, Dano, Anderson, Gallagher. No changes there. On defense, however, this is where things get interesting. Matheson is back with Dobson. Gooley is back with Hudson on his offside, and Jack-Eye is still with Carrier. Oh, I've got some thoughts on on all of that, boys, but I'll let you guys start it off.
Brando, take it away, buddy.
I think Murray's just trying to find some kind of steady the ship in a sense there. That's why I think you're seeing the Matheson-Dobson combo back together. You're seeing Gooley on his left side, Hudson on the right. You can see Hudson's usually better on the left. We all know that, but he can still play the right side, and Gooley kind of plays that more defensive game for him, so he's still able to go up in the play and join it. I think Murray's just trying to find just to steady the ship a little bit, like get into a little rhythm here because it's a rat race for the last 20 games here, and as the standings show, there's no time to mess around now. So I'm curious how it shakes out.
Something tells me, Shanner, you want Hudson with Dobson, that you absolutely love that pairing. I could be off my rocker here, but it does seem like Marty wants to stretch the guys and not limit them to they're not playing with the same line mates. Sometimes you wonder how that's going to affect chemistry. However, I do like the thinking from the coach here, assuming that that's what they want to do, is make sure that everybody's comfortable with everybody else. You never know what's going to happen. We don't wish injuries upon anybody. Praying for full health for the team the rest of the way. But what do you think, Shanner? What are your thoughts? Because you know you got some here.
Yeah, well, your intuition is pretty good there, Drew. I loved the Hudson-Dobson pairing, and the analytics back that up. However, the Matheson-Gooley pairing was atrocious. Let's put the cards on the table here. Let's be honest. They were horrible together. In fact, they had the 5th worst expected goals percentage of any defense pairings in the NHL. So obviously you got to split those two up. That's not working. Get Gooley back on his strong side. Hudson is so good that he can play on his offside and still be impactful. So look, all in all, I don't mind it. I think it had to be done. Some changes had to happen, but I'm a little iffy on the forwards. I got to be honest with you guys. Okay. No changes. And I understand you score 14 goals in 3 games. You get the idea that, the offense is humming. No need to change anything. But there are some lines that are not working. For example, the 4th line. The 4th line stinks. Let's be real here. There's supposed to be a shutdown line. I get that we're not going to expect much offense out of them, but they haven't really been able to shut down either. So they're kind of just there. I'm curious what you guys think about Texier, Veleno, and Laine sitting out, and if there are any of those guys that you would have had in the lineup instead of whoever.
Good question. I think now that we know Patrick Laine is staying, it's curious when he's going to finally jump back in, but I don't know the health situation of these guys, and that's where I feel like They're kind of keeping it close to the chest a little bit when it comes to the health of these players specifically. Texier has been in and out with injury, and when it comes to Veleno, he's serviceable, but you want to see more out of the guy, right? Like you want to see more out of everybody all the time, but I just feel like they're trusting that Anderson, Gallagher, we know what we're going to get from a lot of these guys a lot of times, but I just feel like they don't have the line set for potentially a playoff run yet. They're not there. It's going to be difficult, but let's hope they get there. So I don't know, man. I think they want to have interchangeable parts, of course, but defensively, we got to keep the puck out of the net. Like that's got to be the biggest focus for me is defense and goaltending. So goal scoring, not the biggest issue right now, as we can tell. It's been a barn burner for 3-4 games in a row here. So I think that that's the bigger question and focus for me as far as the lineup goes.
Yeah, and curious too, you got 2 back-to-backs this week, so I'm curious if you're going to see some line shuffling after the game tonight with the game in Ottawa tomorrow night. We know Gallagher, he's the heart and soul of the team. He's blood, guts, effort all the time. But I'm curious if you see down the stretch here as this starts ramping up for playoffs, if you're going to start seeing Marty start toying with some of those, throwing Texier in for a game, depending on the back-to-back scenarios, because we all know Gallagher is 150% all the time. He's the heart and soul, but you're going to have to throw some guys in there because, like I said, as it ramps up, the speed picks up, and then you're going to see also with like the Kapanen and Demi, like their first full season in the NHL gets pretty taxing, especially this time of year. So I'm hoping you may see some lineup changes here down the stretch just to get some guys in, get some different reps, but also I'm looking to see if Kapanen and Demi can rise up to the occasion of the season ramping up, them being at the end of their first year in the NHL. 82 games in the NHL is no joke, but I'm hoping to see Demidov kind of take the bull by the horns tonight, and I want to see him get some more puck possession and get moving again like he used to at the start of the year. Not saying that he's been bad. Captain's 19, 20 goals as a rookie. It's a hell of an accomplishment, but I want to see how they're going. I'm looking forward to see how they act tonight and tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. Deeks, I mean, we have a guest in the wings here.
Yes, we do.
Boy, is he ever knowledgeable. And for those who want to hear more from Pierre McGuire, you can tune into the Eye Test Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. live on the Sick Podcast Network. But Drew, I'll let you introduce our guest here.
Well, as you just mentioned, you know where to find him. He's been covering this game for a very, very long time. Stanley Cup winner. He's a guy that knows the game. He loves the game, I think, more than anybody I can name in media. And it's going to be a pleasure to meet him tonight for the first time. So Pierre McGuire, welcome aboard, and thanks for being with us, my friend.
Andrew, it's really nice to talk to you, and Brandon, Shane. It's really good to see you again. It's been a quick turnaround. So pleased to be able to do this with you guys for quite a while. It's going to be a great run to the end. So I'm really pumped to be with you guys.
The timing is right, Pierre. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to, right? I mean, why not ramp it up for the final push to the playoffs? It's post deadline. So what are your initial thoughts from either side tonight, Pierre, in terms of the Leafs and Canadiens? What are you expecting from a Maple Leafs team that, my gosh, there's never been more question marks around this team for about the last 10 years?
A lot of those guys are playing for their jobs. You know, they lost a lot of their internal depth when they traded Scotty Lawton to Los Angeles. They traded Nicky Roy out to Colorado. You look at what's gone on with their group. They've been decimated, quote unquote, and I'm using their general manager's term, not mine. They were supposed to change their DNA after Mitchell Marner got traded. They changed their DNA, but it wasn't for the better. It was for the worse. I think the Marner situation, Drew and Brandon and Shane, is probably one of the worst run things I've seen in the league in a long time. And the organization got bullied by the media, and they got bullied by the fans, and they forced their hand into trading Marner for virtually nothing. They have no wiggle room now, Toronto. They cannot afford to make any more mistakes with player personnel, because if they do, they're looking at a 10 to 12-year rebuild if they make any more mistakes like they did with Mitch Marner.
So with the short run that Brad Treliving has had here, Pierre, is he the guy that you want to see run the ship or not? Like, I don't think he's had a lot of runway here. He's kind of picking up after a big, I don't know if you want to call it a mess after the Shanahan-Dubas era, but I'm not so sure. What's your take on Brad Treliving and if he's the guy going forward?
Man, I like how you phrase that, Drew, because I do think you're being fair, and I don't think you're being unfair. I think you're being fair. Usually managers take 3 to 5 years to get something fixed, and they inherited a mess. There's no question they inherited a mess. That being said, they created part of the mess, this management group, with how they dealt with the Marner situation. Marner, they will say it publicly that they thought they did everything they could. I can tell you behind closed doors, they know they messed up. Trust me on that. So that's a good lesson for them, and they've learned from it. They never found a top 6 forward to play with Matthew Nyes and Austin Matthews. Willie Nylander needs to be brought into the office and told you're a hockey player. It's not about how many hits you get on YouTube. Okay, you need to be a hockey player. We need you to be serious. Strutting around with the white T-shirt on in the press box, not going to get it done, son. You know, so could you imagine if you would have tried to pull that with Lou Lamoriello there? What would have happened? Sir, I'm just telling you. So they've got to slowly, and this is where Brad comes in. They got to slowly restructure their standards as a group. They really do. And it's all encompassing. It's not this guy, this guy, this guy. It's everybody, and they need to rebuild their defense. And I can tell you right now, one of the things that's happened there is they haven't developed a defenseman internally in a very, very, very long time.
Oof, yeah.
Like, I know it's a Habs-centered show here, and it's our first one back, but I have to ask because I'm thinking, you know, like this game tonight, this is the last matchup, by the way, of the season between the Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I'm just curious, like we know Montreal, the Canadiens somehow, some way are the most relevant Canadian team in the NHL right now. Did anybody think that coming into this, after this trade deadline, that would be the case, Pierre?
Well, I thought it before the trade deadline. I'm not going to lie. I'm a big Montreal Canadiens fan. I grew up with the Canadiens. It's my favorite team. I didn't like what they did at the deadline. I thought their inactivity was not good enough. That being said, it's hard to bicker with all the good things they've done. They've done some amazing things at the draft table, with trades, with signings. I have total respect for what they've done building their brand in Laval, Andrew, and Brandon and Shane. So it's hard. I wish they would have taken another step at the deadline, but I also know the price points might have been a little high. But I thought at the start of the year, and I think Shane can back me up, I thought Montreal would be a really good team right from the start of the year. I didn't think they'd slip backwards from where they were last year. I thought they'd take another step forward.
Yep. Sorry, go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
I was going to ask Pierre, like if you had the manager's cap on, you don't have to name names or anything. It seemed like all year you knew that Montreal was looking for the right shot defenseman or the top 6 winger, center, take your pick, whatever one. Yeah. If you had Kent Hughes' hat on come last week, what would you have been chasing?
Same thing. Right, D. I would have tried to be in on Parayko. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I would have definitely tried to be in on Tyler Myers. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I might have tried to be in on a couple other guys that I'm really not able to say right now just because I don't want to break some confidence with some other people that I talk to around the league or try to help around the league. But you're not off, Brandon. You're pretty right on what you said about the top 6 forward, whether it was a winger or center, and for sure help on the right side. Now, the good news is Reinbacker's coming. It's just a matter of when does he get here. But the good news is he's coming. And so that's exciting. And Engstrom is a good player. You know, he's a good player. They got guys coming. Like this team is set to go. Michael Hayes is really good. I just want to manage expectation here. So in Boston, they got James Higgins, and everybody's talking about James Higgins. I watched James Higgins. If you rush that kid in the NHL right now, he's not ready for that. It's the same thing with Michael Hayes. And I can tell you guys with a clear conscience, I've been in college hockey since 1979, whether it was as a player or as a coach. And college hockey is down this year. It's just down. It's the way it is. It's just down. It's a freak year. It's down. So people are going to make mistakes based on the numbers that some of these guys are putting up this year, because the numbers are going to be higher than what they really should be. If this would have been a year ago, I would have said, nope, maybe these guys, if they're doing the same numbers, they're good to go. So I just want to manage expectation on Hayes because he's going to be really good, but I don't think he's like Higgins. He's not ready to get there yet.
So just quickly, Shane, then you can go. I was just going to ask, so what with Reinbacker having the good, let's say last week.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Would it be worth Montreal's time to bring him up at this time in the season where everything's starting to ramp up and he's just starting to hit his stride in the AHL, or would you hold back and leave him down in the A for a bit?
Oh, I love that question. That's so good. So I want to give him a little taste, Brandon. Just want to give him a little taste. I want him to see exactly what it's like. Be on the bench, get hit, fall down, get up, ride on the charter, stay at the Four Seasons, have your $150 or $125 a day. I want him to get a taste, a little nibble, so that when he does come up, he's never going back. I want him to understand what he has now, what he's going to get, and he never wants to go back to what he has now. He wants to get to the next part. So I love that question. I think it's so appropriate. It's really good.
Now, on Brandon's point, Pierre, wouldn't you think that tomorrow's game in Ottawa would be the perfect time to bring up Ryan Backer? Because it's an intense game, right? You're not playing the Vancouver Canucks. You're playing the Ottawa Senators, who are chasing you for a playoff spot, right? And they're red hot. Throw them in the fire. Like this game, and this game really matters too for the Habs. So again, if he could bring you that edge that you could need to play against the Sens, do you think we could see it as soon as tomorrow?
The only problem you have with that is, and I love that thought too, Shane, I think Laval plays Wednesday night, don't they? I think they have a game Wednesday night. So I don't want them to be in a tough spot either. If you're going to do Reinbacker, I'd do one more thing. I'd bring Fowler.
Yeah. That was in the list of questions.
Drew, I'd bring Fowler and I'd make it easy. Just get him in a car service, get him up there too for the price of one. But I think they play tomorrow, don't they, Shane?
They play Friday in Utica.
Okay, so probably on the bus Thursday, so they're good for Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'd bring them both up.
So the reason why, again, Pierre, I'm asking is because they have 4 injured defensemen right now in Laval. Adam Engstrom, Josh Jacobs, Toby Bisson, and Josiah Didier. So that's why I'm not sure that it'll happen as soon as tomorrow, but I'm right there with you with the fact that I think it is going to happen. Now, Pierre, I'd love to get your take on the fact that the Habs are coming back home from a long road trip in California that was very taxing, right? And the travel is taxing as well. And we know that when teams come back home from a road trip, sometimes it's more difficult.
Yep.
Do you think this has the writings of a trap game? Because the Leafs are on a 7-game skid, right? They're playing their rivals. The Habs are coming back home from a trip. I mean, all the pieces are there for a trap game. What is like, are we overlooking the Leafs right now, or like could they really do some damage tonight?
Oh, they can do damage because they have Austin Matthews, and if he wants to take over a game, he can. That being said, the Canadiens look in the standings and they look in the rearview mirror, and it's not a very comforting sight right now. So I think that's one of the big motivation points is sometimes those objects in the rearview mirror are closer than they appear. So you got to be really careful tonight. Home ice games matter. It's a back-to-back. You did not like. I'm going to try to be fair here. I like the way Brandon and Drew work. They're always fair. I kind of like that about you guys.
It's only our first show, Pierre.
It's only I didn't like Montreal's game in San Jose. I really didn't like their game in Anaheim, and I thought they were Slavkovsky, Caulfield, and Suzuki in LA, if you kind of get my drift. Yeah. So they owe themselves a game. They've laid an egg 3 games in a row now. They owe themselves a game. So I think that's why it's not a trap game.
There you go.
What would lead to Montreal? Like, what do they have to do tonight to get on Toronto? Because, Berube's been harping at them to play with some heart and everything. What does Montreal have to do to set the tone early? Like, what can they do to Toronto that maybe they're not as good at to kind of get their legs underneath them after, like Shane said, that long trip?
You know how they lost Lawton to LA and they lost Roy to Colorado? So to me, the number one thing is play a 4-line game and just grind them. Don't be nice, just grind them. Toronto never did change their DNA last year, and they don't have Mitchell Martin and they don't have Scott Lawton. That's a lot of loss. Trust me, Marner's a 100-plus point guy. So I'd play a 4-line game. That's number one, Brandon. Number 2, and this is really important, their neutral zone transition game is awful. You just jump that 4th guy in the rush all the time. They won't pick him up. I'm telling you, it's no good. So off the rush, they're going to struggle. And then the third thing is I just jam the net because the rebound control for both goalies has not been very good for Wall or for Stolars.
Yeah, it's Joseph Wall in net tonight, and he's having an okay season. But again, the Leafs are I have it here. They allow the most shots on goal in the league, and they have the third worst goals allowed average. They allow the second most amount of goals, but yeah,
if you jam the net on that, they have a hard time. They do.
A couple things I want to mention real quick, if I may.
Yeah.
Some love for Anique Lemire, who was part of the original Habs Tonight crew. She will be joining us soon. She couldn't make it tonight. I got to say, he's in studio right now, and there she is. She's she's so mad she's missing this, but she supports us. Graphic design extraordinaire, folks. Habs Tonight was successful halfway because of her graphic work. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
you can look on our channel, the history of it. It's all there. The title of the guest who just entered the studio. I love how the first thing I saw before I actually saw him jump in was the Leafs will lose tonight. So I don't know. Do we want to just bring him right in with Pierre? Is it too soon to bring in our next guest, Sid Seixeiro? Sid Seixeiro, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, Sid. We could not thank you
straight to the point.
There it is, bottom left. Either way, it's there.
It's self-explanatory, right? You guys got me? Everyone can hear me?
We got you, Sid.
Good. Pierre McGuire, you good, sir? How's everything going?
Everything's great. The last time we talked was on a radio station in Toronto just before the holiday season, not that many years ago.
Yeah, a little upstart station called the Fan 590.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Great to see you guys. Congratulations to the entire Habs Tonight crew and what you guys built back then, what you have brought over. With Pierre here, I feel no need to welcome you to Sick Media. I'm here all of a month. So I'll let other people welcome you to Sick Media. Shane, you know the place pretty well.
Been here,
but it's great to have you guys here. This is a lot of fun to have a pre and a post. Like Sick Media's kind of got it covered right now, which is pretty good. And I'm excited to be here. Excited to watch a 6-2 Habs win this evening. And it'll be great.
Says the Toronto guy. You got to.
I'm not the only one thinking that right now. Pierre, what's the score tonight?
I'm thinking Toronto. I think Toronto losing. I'm thinking more like 5-1. I'm not kidding.
A respectable 5-1. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm the conservative one here. I had them 4-1. Like,
what is left in the tank for the Leafs right now, Sid? Like, what is the motivation for this particular game tonight? The last Leafs Habs game before the end of this regular season. What's in it? What's in the tank for Toronto? What do they got left? What's the motivation here?
I know Berube wants to win it because he's playing Kelly Yarncroke for no reason. So like he wants to try to win. Maybe they could reel in the Bruins. I don't know. Maybe we can have some run. Look, there's been a lot of, I don't know if you guys have been hearing the audio out of Toronto over the last, I want to say a week, but in all fairness, it's been since the Olympic break ended. And it's a bewildering group because, like, in the best of times, they didn't want to show you any emotion. In the best of times. Now that things are getting real, like the robotic state of most of the roster in there is, I think concerning is the best word I can use, because if you want, like, now is where you see who has the emotion.
Yeah.
Like, yep. Pierre, I'll divert to you. Like, if you see a team just say the same thing over and over, like I'm listening to Slavkovsky in post games and on off days and Brassard talk about, I want to be the guy. I want to be in control. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm hearing Nick Suzuki pregame on the glass in Vegas. I think it was Saturday night, saying, "No, I'm happy Kent kept us together again. Like I want this to continue. Like this, like that's emotion. That's real feeling."
I'm going to back you up on this. I'm going to back you up on this because you know what? The teams that do lose, they all say the same stuff. And go listen to sound bites from JT Miller. Go listen to the sound bites from New York from JT Miller. They're the same every night. Vinny Trocheck, they're the same every night. Go listen to the sound bites from Toronto, fellas. I stood spot on this. That's exactly what it is. You're right on, man.
So off that, Pierre's bang on. Off that, guys, I don't know what to expect tonight because like embarrassment doesn't seem to be a motivating, or avoiding embarrassment doesn't seem to be a motivating factor right now. Tampa, I cannot tell you how easy that was for Tampa Saturday. Physically, emotionally. That's why they were pardon the phrase, horned up on Sunday against Buffalo. They had all their energy in the tank.
Yeah.
Like they were ready to go. And I don't know. Listen, the one thing has to happen soon, or it gets really weird, and Austin has to find the back of the net. It's a very strange thing. There's no zip on it. He's getting in areas. Like he's finding himself in areas. But that, I don't know if it's the wrist, I don't know if it's the shoulder, I don't know if it's the back. And Pierre's dealt with more legitimate kind of hockey injury discussions than I have, but he's not right. And I just don't know. I don't know where it goes from there. Go ahead, Pierre.
You know what? All I was going to say is when I saw the Toronto Maple Leafs play in Florida the day after they played in Tampa, in their first period, at one point, the shots were like 20-3 in the first period. I was like, this is over. These guys don't care. And that was when I knew it was over. And it has been. They haven't won since the Olympics have ended.
And honestly, Pierre, guys, sorry to throw questions at Pierre here like this, but like,
Go ahead.
How many times in your hockey life, in all seriousness, Pierre, at that level specifically, have you seen teams that kind of were in that headspace?
A lot.
Okay.
I have. And the reason why I say a lot is because there's some that chase fool's gold, and there are other ones that know their expectations were met and it's over. And there's going to be a master catastrophe at the end of the year. And it's the Bowman level of experience that he taught me so many times. At one point in an NHL season, inevitably you know you're going to be good, or inevitably you know you're going to be bad. He calls it the inevitability factor. And you know what? The Leafs know inevitably they're not good. They know.
Yeesh.
No goals
Brandon,
in
you got
11
anything?
games.
I was thinking today, because I was listening to Sid earlier on today, and I was just wondering, and Pierre's kind of been in this chair before in management. We heard the speculation this week. We know the names that are out there, and then how supposedly a trade got nixed. But with Toronto with no draft capital, not much of a prospect pool, like is Tree going to be the guy to right that ship in the summer? I mean, it's a jarring situation to be in. What they find themselves in is because you think Berube might be gone, because you can tell he's almost kind of fed up right at this point. But like, is Tree the guy to lead them through this summer?
Sid would know better than I. He's boots on the ground in Toronto.
I mean, look, I think the quote I heard yesterday from Matthews was asked about, is a quick retool possible? He seemed borderline excited by the notion of a quick turnaround, a la Boston getting competitive again this year, and other instances in the East down through the years. He seemed a little piqued with that. Now, that tells me one thing. There's no way Berube's back. Because the numbers with Matthews under Berube are fairly self-explanatory. I understand what the plan was to make Matthews a go against the top line, 200-foot center every night plan. I get it. He's not wired that way. If Berube is going to keep doing it, the one thing about Matthews in this town, he does have a track record of when he tunes the coach out, you better listen. And I feel like he's done this with Craig. And I feel like a retool, if Matthews wants a retool, Matthews is going to get a retool. And I think if Brad does the dirtier work and get rid of a respected guy in Craig, which it won't be easy, I think Treliving will stay. And I think they'll look at Treliving and say, maybe we'll let you try and turn this around for another year. My problem is I see a lot of guaranteed contracts with this team. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who you're moving. The other thing, I mean, in terms of Treliving that he's going to have to figure out here, and it sounds like the conversation hasn't happened, but Pierre, I don't know if you felt the same way I did when I heard Matthew Nyes talk yesterday, but he is in a bit of a headspace with how that deadline played out. And I think it was a curveball for a lot of people, including him. Like how much can that linger, specifically with young players who haven't been around the block and haven't kind of dealt with a deadline? You're not dealing with some 33-year-old who knows the drill. Like how, if you're Treliving, do you reach out to him, or do you let that simmer for a bit and say, okay, maybe he'll get over it? Like, how would you handle that?
You got to put the pieces back together pretty quick. And that's such a good question again, Sid. So here's what I would tell you. I think Brad's got to meet with him at the end of the season. I'd let it simmer right now. And I would tell you, of all the players that disappointed me the most on the Leafs this year, it would be him. This was an Olympic year. He had a chance to make a huge statement to USA Hockey playing on a line with Austin Matthews. He did nothing of the sort. In fact, he dropped down in the lineup. Now, I know there might be some lingering injury situations for him, but I didn't see second and third efforts like I'm used to seeing from him. I watched him play at the U.S. National Team Development Program. I watched him play at the University of Minnesota. He was on the same team that had a guy named Brock Faber, on the same team that had a guy named Jackson Lacombe. Like, all these guys are doing pretty well. He looked like he was going in the same direction. Not so far this year. The Leafs are the ultimate enigma. They got to figure it out, and they're going to have to, if Brad stays, they got to do some thinking in terms of how they want to structure the management group going forward. They do. They have to make some.
Do you think they need a president, like not Pelly acting as president, but
well,
like
I'm just saying, president? I don't know if that's it, but they're going to have to figure some things out. And just one other thing. I was in Pittsburgh when we traded for Ronnie Francis. And the Ronnie Francis trade set the Hartford Whalers back 5 to 8 years. I'm not kidding you. It set the Pittsburgh Penguins up to win multiple Stanley Cups and have a President's Trophy and unbelievable runs. Those cups behind me, a big part of it's because of Marion Lemieux and Ronnie Francis and Alfie Samuelson and all the guys that we got in trades that Craig Patrick made. But I would tell you, if people in Toronto want to run Austin out of town, I would tell them the cautionary tale. I watched what happened in Hartford when they ran Ronnie Francis out, and it destroyed a franchise. That franchise is in Carolina now.
My question to you guys on that front is, if Tree stays, we talk about the forward group quite a bit, but defense and goaltending has been the Leafs' biggest issue for how many decades now? It seems like maybe 10.
My life.
Yeah.
My life.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sid Seixeiro, everybody. Don't go away. Please stay. But my goodness, I mean, when they brought in Tanev, I thought, wow, that would have been great 8 years ago. And to me, it was too little too late. Like that decor, the goaltending situation, I just don't know how, like, that's where you got to start for me. I don't know. Like, what's your guys' take on that?
You first, Pierre, please.
Well, the goaltending, I think, eventually will sort itself out. Don't forget they have Hildeby down in the American Hockey League, he's a talented kid. I think he's got major upside. I still think Joe Wool's got upside. I thought a year ago, going into the playoffs, Stolars was a steal of the free agency class the summer before, coming out of Florida after they won their first cup. There was a lot of good stuff going on. When he got hurt in the Florida series, that was pretty much the beginning of the end for Toronto. I think they're okay on forward. They're not okay on defense. Trust me when I tell you, I know every person in their prospect pool. I know all their guys in the American Hockey League. They're good kids. They're hardworking. They're industrious. Marshall Rafai, Henry Thrun, those guys have a chance to play, but they're deeper in the lineup. They got work to do. They don't have a lot. I think it was Sid that said they have no draft capital. They got nothing coming like that. They got work to do. They're going to have to try to find ways to move some guys and get draft capital because right now they don't have any, really. They don't.
And I think the point you just made was the gist of the Nyes discussion with Kent Hughes. I truly believe that.
They may have talked, but I would say this. If Nyes really was in play, I know of one team that would have paid more to get him than Montreal would have.
Minnesota?
Perhaps.
Bill Guerin will throw around a lot of pieces right now because
don't forget there's a team in Utah that used to be in Arizona too.
Yeah.
And there's a kid named Logan Cooley there that played at the University of Minnesota.
Listen, if Nyes is like that's my concern with the market this year, guys, and what's happened is like it just feels like Nyes has been kind of swallowed up by it too. And when you look at his numbers, it's like, oh, 50 points. Okay. Like it's not like a breakthrough season.
Yeah.
But he's been he's faded into it with the rest of them.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like he wasn't a burner the first few games as a Leaf at all, but like boy, he looks like he's slowed down. And maybe that's line mates. I don't know. You can argue certain things. I keep hearing guys Like right now, one of the hottest debates in Toronto is: do you want this year's first rounder to just slip to Boston and be the end of it off the Carlo trade? I am arguing till I'm blue in the face. I don't care what the next 2, 3, 4 years first round pick wise looks like with Philly or Boston. Apparently, it's defenseman heavy draft. I'm not the draft expert. It is.
It is.
This, you need a guy now.
We agree.
Now on that blue line. Tanev might have another year in him, tops. Maybe.
Yeah.
And I love Chris Tanev.
Yeah.
36 years old, core surgery, not good.
No.
You need that defenseman that I've never seen it in my lifetime with this team. I was too young. I knew of Boria. I was too young to enjoy something like that.
Yeah.
I've never seen a defenseman of upper quality with the Toronto Maple Leafs. When the Leafs were winning when I was younger, it was Bob Rouse. It was like lunch,
Dave Ellett,
lunch
Rouse,
pail guys who just got the job done and let the guys up front run around like maniacs and beat Cujo and other teams. But I firmly believe, guys, they need this top 5 pick this year.
They absolutely. That's such a good. Hey, fellas, it's spot on. D's got to be the call, and they got to keep the pick this year. They have no draft cap, and I'm telling you, go watch their team play in the American Hockey League. Like, go watch them play. Like, we got work to do.
Yep. And that all starts tonight, guys. They have a chance to slip further down the standings. So, maybe they want to lose this one. I don't know. Maybe Sid's onto something. The Leafs will lose tonight. But, guys, bringing it back to the game because it starts in less than 20 minutes. Sid, I want to ask you, we've been talking so negatively about the Leafs on this show. Let's bring a little positivity in the sense where what do you think the Habs need to beware of for the Leafs? Like, what are things that they do good that they could catch the Habs on tonight?
Oh boy.
It's one of the hardest questions anyone's ever asked me in my entire life.
Man, I'm trying to be nice here.
You know what, Shaner? Here's what we'll do. The Leafs power play under Stevie Sullivan has been good. Now, they don't work hard enough to draw penalties, which is kind of a problem. But let's say, for the sake of argument, Leafs get 2 power plays tonight, like a normal National Hockey League team might get. I think the Leafs have definitely looked a lot better, but that's how bad things have been, where they can't even enjoy this power play as any type of springboard, really, because they haven't been getting a ton of them. But when they've been on the man advantage, things have been good. There's your positive. I do not have another. Please don't ask me for a second. That's my only positive. But that's my positive.
My positive is going to be Austin Matthews and John Tavares. If they have any chance to beat Montreal tonight, those guys got to stand and deliver. They're not going to get it from their bottom 6 forwards. There's too much damage done with Lawton being in LA and Nicky Roy being in Colorado. They just don't have enough thrust through the middle of the ice. I know Jacob Quillen really well. Watched them play in Penticton. Watched them play, obviously, at Quinnipiac. Saw him score a goal in the NCAA final against Minnesota. Matthew Nyes was actually on that team. He's not a centerman. He's a winger. Like, this is the problem right now. So if they're going to win tonight, those 2 centermen are the top 2 guys, Tavares and Matthews, you're going to have to rip it up big time. And if they don't, Montreal's going to win 5-1 or 6-2, like Sid was saying.
Pierre, I'll say this, and I'll throw back to you guys. Like, if there was ever a time for a nice 2-goal Matthews night against a rival, kind of clean it up a bit, get a good feeling after the game, I think everyone could use that. Everybody.
That's a great call. Agreed.
What better building does he have to do it in? Because, I mean, the guy has scored in the Bell Center umpteen times, and he feels pretty darn good about himself when he does it. We've seen it. And if there's a night to do it, I mean, my gosh, it's tonight.
It is tonight. And I have to tell you something. I've never been more afraid of a hockey game in my life because I'm going on with Tony and Pierre after. I feel like I'm Drake and I just bet 10 million on this game tonight. Like, I have a lot of skin in the game.
That's good.
And you know what? Not for nothing, I look great in that photo. So do you, Pierre. We look great.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you.
Fantastic. But I'm. This could be a fun one. Like, what I'm afraid of is like 3-0 Habs after 1, is what I'm a little concerned with. But I'm telling you, I think the plan is to keep Berube for the season. However, if it gets silly tonight in that building against that team, that's one of the rare moments where I would think about it.
Wow.
The Leafs have given no indication.
Yeah.
But tonight, if it gets weird, Pierre, I don't know about you, maybe it's in play.
It could be. I mean, you got Derek Lalonde. There's been a head coach in the league. He finished off the season. It could be. I'm not saying that's going to happen because I've been there. I walked in those shoes. I don't like anybody getting fired. I don't like it. Brings back bad memories.
But Montreal is the scene of the Ron Wilson 18-wheeler moment, right?
No,
there's
it
some
is.
history with coaches
100%.
for the Leafs. This is this town when they feel the Leafs are on the ropes, they come in with some uppercuts.
It's true.
And we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, man, thank you.
This was fun. Welcome back, Habs Tonight. Congratulations. You guys got a big-time fan base. Sick Media. You don't need me to tell you. Pierre's told you a million times. I've been working with Sick for like a month and the Anella family, and I got to tell you, I'm having the time of my life. Absolute time of my life. And you guys are going to hit home runs here, and because the Habs, there will be a lot of pregame shows between now and let's say middle of May. I'm going to go middle of May with the Habs season.
Ooh, I like that. That's good. That's a good take.
We like the sound of that. Sid, I got to ask
I'll see you later.
On behalf of my brother-in-law, who first introduced me to Sid Seixeiro, ranting about the Maple Leafs about 10 and a half years ago or so. Did you get a new battery for your watch, Sid?
No. This is the hill I will die on. Any good watch does not need to work. Working watches are for the 1920s when watches were not readily available to most people. So I'm not moving on this. So please, and I apologize to you on behalf of your brother-in-law for subjecting you to this idiot. I'm very sorry. You deserve better than that.
Sid, there's 207,000 views on this video on YouTube. When John Tavares was signed by the Maple Leafs, you are more upset about how excited the Leafs fan base was at that signing than you are now when they're, I don't know, God knows where they're going. So,
well, I mean, listen, anyway. This is going to be an interesting night, and it's a very good night for you guys to be on because I haven't seen Leaf fans this engaged in a single matchup since October of last year. Like, in all seriousness, like this feels different tonight. So I'm glad you guys are on. And this is gonna be a fun one.
Yep. Sid Seixeiro,
I believe we have someone else waiting in the wings.
If you want to say hi to Tony, Sid, you can. Tony Marinaro, bring him on. Host of the Sick Podcast.
Let's go, Maple Leafs. Let's go. Hey, Sid, how's life in Toronto with your $5,000 rent for 500 square feet? How's life treating you?
Guys, I lost you in my AirPod. I got to go. No, I'm kidding. Tony's back. Tony, I thought you'd be stolen by all your fans in Milan and Cortina.
You probably lost this in those headphones because they give them away for free on every flight that you take that goes overseas.
Tony, I swear, in a month, you're going to be wearing them, dude. Those headphones messing with your beautiful lock, that mane on top of your head.
Hey, this is amazing. Front page of the Hockey News back in 2018. Maple Leafs destined to win Stanley Cup. 8 years later, they're in 8th last place. And my hope for them is for them to stay that way. Like that, the pick they gave up in the Brandon Carlo trade goes to the Boston Bruins because it's top 5 protected. Unbelievable.
Oh, I don't know if you guys saw TSN. The Leafs are going to get the first pick. The mock draft took place. Jeff O'Neill, pop. That's going to listen. All mock drafts need to be taken seriously.
I'm going to tell you something. I echo Pierre's sentiments. I don't want to see anyone lose their job, but I'll say this, and I say it very, very respectively. Brad Treliving's body of work didn't merit him to be the GM of an original 6 huge market team like the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I don't get it. And I don't understand what's going on there with Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, with all due respect. And I understand they don't have an easy job, but 1 year ago, he gave up a first-round pick for Scott Lawton, and 1 year later, he traded Scott Lawton for a third-round pick. I mean, that's not very good asset management. Not at all. It's not supposed to work that way. So
it's not defensible. It isn't defensible. And
No.
and listen, I mean, we all know people in the game. Brad is an A+ human being. I think anyone who's dealt with Brad knows that. Things are getting hot here. But I was never under the impression Scott Laughton, like, just because the Leafs don't respect their own first rounders doesn't mean other teams also don't respect them. Like, I was never under the impression that they were getting anything back for Scott that was comparable. Like, I don't think that was realistic. Some fans were definitely in that lane. Yeah. But it was always going to be tough. But I think all of that change at MLSC, guys, like, the problem with this market, and it's not too dissimilar than Montreal at times, is, like, with all due respect to a Bill Zito, like, Bill Zito can kind of he can sit Marchand right now. How much heat is he going to get in South Florida for that?
Zero.
And you do that here with the ticket prices here? Like, watch that. I'm serious. Like, watch this. Like, the Leafs have priced themselves into a corner in terms of sitting people, in terms of, I don't know if Austin Matthews needs minor surgery. I don't know. They won't tell us. Like, they're not in a situation where they're not going to pull him.
Well, Sid, I'm going to tell you the difference between Toronto and Montreal right now. And I'm not talking about your clubs that close at the time that ours open. I'm talking about Jeff Gordon and Kent Hughes. They came in and they know how influential the media can be. And they basically came in and said, we're going to do it our way. And I got to tell you that when they said that they were going to go through a rebuild, there were members of the media, and I worked with them, that were absolutely livid because, as you know, when you go through a rebuild, it's 3 years of growing pains. It could be 6, it could be 9, and in some 12 markets, it's been 12 and 14 years. And that spells bad news usually for TV stations, for TV shows, for radio stations, for radio shows, for podcast networks, for podcasts. It usually spells bad news. Those who looked at it logically said, you know what? Based on where the other teams are and based on where the Canadiens are, a full rebuild is the way to go. But some of those members of the media were very outspoken, put a lot of pressure on the Montreal Canadiens, and guess what? It changed nothing. And even though there was a lot of pressure on them to make a move even a year ago, they didn't. Whether they were right or wrong, that's another story. Even though there was a lot of pressure to make a move this year, whether they were right or wrong, they didn't. That's another story. But they don't listen to the media. They have a plan, and they're not going to divert from their plan whatsoever. In Toronto, they listened to all the bullshit about Mitch Marner, and they caved.
Is it too many cooks in the kitchen in Toronto? Like, how many GMs and assistant GMs are there? That's my question for you guys here.
I believe there's 5 assistant GMs. I'm not kidding.
When they do their scouting meetings, Andrew, they sit in a boardroom and everybody's got a microphone in front of them. There's 60 people in the room. I've run drafts. Back in the day, we used to have 12 scouts. There'd be 15 people in the meetings. That was it. Like, come on. And we had pretty good teams. Like, Lemieux was good. Stevens was good. Yager was good. Mullen was good. Francis. Like, we had pretty good players. We only had 15 guys. We didn't have 60.
Yeah.
But honestly, to Pierre's point, it's like every meeting with MLSC is like a United Nations meeting.
It is.
Like, that's the room. Like, that circular room, the room we all know about, that's MLSC. And they've even condensed it. Under Dubas, it was a small city.
Yeah, Sid, I know you got to go here. I never got the opportunity to tell you this live on a podcast, but you have no idea how excited I am that you're part of our Sick Media team. You made the noise that I thought you were going to make. Our company's so much better with you. I think you're an unbelievable talent. As a matter of fact, I think you're the second best ever to do it in Canada. and all kidding aside, the Habs Tonight is also a terrific compliment to our network. You're talking about really passionate people who are good at this, showed that they were good at it, are going to show again how good they are at it. You take a look at their loyal following. We see it in the numbers tonight. One great decision after one great decision after one great decision for Sick Media. Guys, I'm happy for all of you. I'm happy for the company. I'm happy for everyone. It's good. We're expanding. slowly but surely, we're making all the right moves, and we're giving sports fans the best coverage that they can get in their respective markets.
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah,
Appreciate you both.
read my mind.
Appreciate you both. All I'll add on top of that is and I don't know if I'm speaking for the Habs Tonight crew or not, but the amount of support and love from you, Tony, and you and I, we've been talking for a while now, you and me. And with Pierre, and when we made the announcement, and you guys had I saw the show you guys did the day we announced I was coming over. You guys were extremely, almost too kind to me. I'm way more of a jerk than that. You guys did not have to say those nice things. And the support has been incredible. Sick Media is growing every day. It's still, we're still a good tight crew, but it's we felt the support. Like we were at a telecom. We felt that kind of support.
Like I said, yeah, you're a terrific talent. I think you are a jerk, and that's why I refused your Tinder request, if you're wondering. But all that, I'm happy to have you on the team, man.
Man, this has gone off the rails. Pierre and Sid, thank you so much. You can catch them on the post-game show tonight with Tony. But Tony, we're going to keep you on for a few more minutes.
Okay.
Because there's about 4 minutes left until game time. We haven't gotten your thoughts on the game yet.
Yeah.
So what are you expecting from the Montreal Canadiens? What are your thoughts on the lineup changes, and how do they win this game?
Well, listen, I think the key, even though that this is a team that has shown that it's never over until it's over, and even if they're down 2 or 3 goals in period number 3, they have the individual talent and they have the offense to come back in the hockey game. I actually think the key is the first period in the game because if the Toronto Maple Leafs are up after 1 period of play, well, you know what? Some of that pride that we haven't seen this season, they're going to say, okay, you know what? We're in Montreal. We're at the Bell Center. The Canadiens are trying to get into the playoffs. We're out. You know what? Let's play spoiler. They could probably end up pulling off a win. And it's always interesting to see how the home team responds after they go out for a road trip, especially when it's out west. I guess the good news for the Canadiens is it was 3-game road trip. It wasn't a 5 and it wasn't a 6. And the Canadiens have been back in town since Sunday, and here we are on Tuesday. If the Canadiens get off to a great start in period number 1, a bunch of players who are going to try and save face and kind of save their individual seasons are going to play like individuals, and that'll feed right into Montreal's hands. And I think the Canadiens can actually run away if they have a really good first period. If they don't, Toronto can cause a surprise, but I don't think they will. I think this is the Canadiens' game. As long as the Canadiens have a great first period and they don't look ahead to tomorrow night's game, which for the Ottawa Senators tomorrow will be their game of the year.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, who do you want to see? Who do you want to see be the difference maker tonight, Tony? Like I said earlier in the show, I want to see Demi kind of take a step here.
You know what? It's been a while since he has, let's be honest. And you know what? And there's nothing to be worried about. There's nothing to be concerned about. But down the stretch in the last 2 months of the season, the games are a little different. Fatigue starts to set in, especially when you're playing in a condensed schedule. And take a look at the way Kapanen and Demidov have actually tapered off a little bit. Kapanen, I think it was kind of expected because he couldn't continue at that shooting percentage that he had. I think that if this becomes a wide open game, and the matchups could be very convenient for Demidov, I think that Demidov could actually play a big role in tonight's game. I'm also pulling for Bolduc, guys. I have to tell you, I don't remember when was the last time Bolduc scored, but I will tell you this. I thought he was pretty good out west. I saw some flashes. I'm starting to see his game come around. He's starting to do other things when he doesn't score. And for long sequences this year, when he wasn't scoring, he wasn't doing those other things. He's going to need to do them if he wants to continue to stay in the lineup, because we know that the Canadiens have capable players in Texier and in Veleno to actually come back in the lineup should need be. So he's feeling a little bit more urgency. I'm pulling for him to have a good game tonight. I'm interested to see how the pairing is going to go between Gooley and Hudson, with Hudson playing the right side. We know that Hudson plays better on the left side. Having said that, I saw a statistic earlier today. I'd have to confirm it, that Lane Hudson had a better plus-minus last year on the right side than he did on his natural left, which is kind of odd because he just seems to be more comfortable on his left, which is normal because he's a natural left-handed defenseman. So I look forward to seeing that pairing, guys, because let's be honest, Matheson and Gouli just didn't work out west.
Horrible.
Shane really hammered that home at the beginning of the show. Let's just say that. But
the stats back it up. They had the 5th worst expected goals percentage of any pairing in the NHL this season. Like it wasn't, guys, it wasn't bad. It was horrible. Okay, it had to change. So credit to Marty for actually taking action in the matter.
Yeah, and unlike what happened in Anaheim, I'm willing to bet that tonight the Montreal Canadiens will not give up 2 goals on the first shot against.
Well, it's a different goalie, though, eh? It's a different goalie tonight.
Of course, making reference to John Carlson's goal, which was called off because of offside, and then Cutter Gauthier's goal right after that.
There you go. Drew?
Well, it's 7:01, Shaner, so should we take it home? The folks want to get to the game and watch the Habs tonight. So you see what I did there, eh, guys? You think Tony's the only professional around here?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I never said I was a professional. I am entertaining, I think, at least I hope. And thanks for doing this. And once again, a friendly reminder to everyone that the Sick Podcast goes weeknights at 10 p.m. or after the Montreal Canadiens game, should the Canadiens have a late start. Tonight, obviously, is a 7 o'clock start. So at 10 p.m., I'll be there. And Pierre McGuire will be back, and he'll be with me. So will Sid Seixeiro. And so that's another reason why we hope the Montreal Canadiens give it to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mind you, at this stage of the season, I would imagine that Sid would probably be happy if Toronto loses so they could actually get that protected top 5 pick. And Brian Wild, guys, is live at the Bell Center. He'll be going into the Canadiens locker room after the game. He'll go to Marty St. Louis' press conference as well, and he'll join us with his thoughts and his opinion. All of that tonight on the Habs postgame show on the Sick Podcast.
Fantastic.
I look forward to it.
Thank you, Tony.
There it is.
Thanks, guys.
Tony, thank you for coming on. Thank you for everything so far. This is going to be a blast. Thank you.
Long life to Habs tonight. Drew, Brandon, Anik, Shane, all of you, your founder, Dale, everyone, long life to the Habs tonight. Welcome to the Sick Media team. It's going to be a good ride. It's going to be sick.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right. Well, gentlemen, we had ourselves a time. Leave a comment down below, folks. Hit like, hit hype, hit subscribe on the channel. Habs Tonight is back in town. We are excited. You're excited, we hope. The numbers show you're excited to be here, and you really stuck with us most of the show. Almost 1,000 concurrent viewers during this first episode. You guys never disappoint. Habs fans are the best in the freaking world, and we thank you. Boys, any final thoughts before we go watch the boys hammer at home and beat those boys in blue?
I think Tony said it best. The beginning matters. Got to hammer them home. Got to hammer them right away. I think you just have to kill their spirit. You know, like just leave them empty.
Hurting. Yeah,
leave them empty after the first period, and stick to the plan. I mean, don't get caught up in extracurriculars. You know, stay focused and demolish them. Like this isn't just a game that you need to win. This is a game you need to dominate. That's what I'm expecting.
Perfect. All I got is go Habs, and thanks everybody for tuning in. It's a great first show back. Can't wait to keep doing it.
First one's in the books.
First one's in the books. That's right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you to the Cavaleros back behind the scenes running the show for us. We thank them for getting everything ready on time. Like, I mean, they just crushed it, guys. If I could just, again, thank the Cavaleros, the Marinaros, the Seixeiros, the Legacies, the Gaumont, everybody. We all thanked everybody already. But, guys, go Habs, go. Let's get it done. We're right back at it tomorrow night, right here. Pregame show for the Ottawa Senators. The Habs Tonight pregame show is back tomorrow night. Join us. This is going to be a sick ride, boys. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Let's go.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow Habs Tonight, powered by Sick Media on YouTube, X, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.